It was such a scene from in between us, looking back.
Honestly.
There I am, I'm like Jay, like giving it all large to the body, the bouncer.
Mate,
he's getting really angry. I do remember him throwing like a table over and coming towards
he
me.
wasn't happy, mate.
And then the second story, do we really want to talk about this? Because it is a shit story.
Quite literally. And I, let's say, defecated. It's not the...
So it was literally like a commando run, but also it was basically sort of like, you know when you hold the spoon and egg race, but it was hand and shit race.
And you think what I said is going to be at the title, the hand and shit race.
Hello, and
welcome to Chat All About It with me, Sam.
And me, Jack.
This is the second episode.
This is the second episode.
We've got them coming thick and fast, mate.
Thick and fast.
So what are we talking about today, mate?
Apparently we're going to give it a go. We're going to talk about our lads' holidays.
Lads' holidays.
Back in the day.
How many years ago did we have a lads' holiday, mate?
How many did... I think I met you in Magaluf. I met you once in Magaluf.
Did you get the bus to my hotel or something from the airport?
Yeah.
I mean, that was dedication.
I went on the Central Line, got all the way to Heathrow. I found it such a surreal experience to end up at Loughton Station and then straight outside our BCM nightclub because your
it was literally next to it.
And I was
you remember the name? I didn't remember that.
Yeah,
I just remember the hotel we stayed in.
Mate, the amount of stupid memories and things that happened in Magaluf for me were mental. I mean, one of the things, like, when I went to Calvin Harris, we went to Calvin
Harris.
I knew there'd be an issue, and what they essentially did is that they oversold the capacity.
It's horrific.
So, essentially, whilst Calvin Harris was on, eventually... He eventually decided to turn.
Took a long time.
Yeah. So eventually, there are so many people in this basically big nightclub. Maybe thousands more than there should be. Every now and again, my feet would come up off the ground because I've got all these people around me, and it's like a wave of people.
Well, what happened as well? Excuse me. Is we were right at the front, and there was like a barrier. Just like before the stage, so every time people went forward, we get crushed into this barrier. That was awful.
That's so not right.
It wasn't great, but we've got some positive and what I'd say funny stories from our Magaluf days. I mean, first of all, I want to say like lads' holidays. Like I don't know if they're a thing anymore. If people still go on them.
Definitely, but probably not at the moment. But definitely there are lads' holidays. Like Magaluf is always going to be Magaluf, isn't it? Like. Well,
it has another name, but Shagaloo.
Yes, but it is always going to be that, right?
I think so. I mean,
there's going to be lads' holidays.
I think
there's going to be a girl, whatever you call them, girls' holidays.
Lasses' holidays. I don't know if that's the thing.
Lasses, no.
No, probably not.
That's
but
a bit too Scottish.
I think when we went on our lads' holiday, it was kind of like the thing to do.
Yeah.
And Magaluf was like the place to go. And we actually went twice. We went once with a lads group, and then one was like a mixed group.
Yeah, and then it was couples, group.
Couples, and then you, pretty much.
Yeah,
that was interesting. But yeah, I mean we've got stories. I think me and you really came like really close on the first one.
Yeah, it definitely came through that we sort of bonded,
I don't even know how. Like, I don't know. I think people like didn't want to come out or something, and then me and you were like.
Because I think from memory, was there 5 of us? I think.
No, more. I think it was 7 of us.
Well, anyway, all I essentially remember is that everyone sort of drifted away, and sometimes they do their own thing, and I always felt like we would just be always up for. The timing just always worked out well.
I think as well, like, again, we're a bit younger, but we're always like the last one standing, effectively.
Yeah.
And I think
you looked after me very well. So essentially, we were on the Magaluf strip, as it were, and I think our hotel was about a 5-minute walk, and there was one night.
Oh wow!
Yes,
I know.
Yes. There was one night where it took me over an hour to be escorted to the hotel. And I do have flashbacks.
I mean, there was. It was horrific. I mean, we weren't. I think we were like in the middle of the strip, and then like we could tell that you weren't very well. Like you had a bit.
I probably had like mayonnaise all over my face and chips all.
It was awful. Well, I mean, when I went to the kebab place, I just like shoved my face in the kebab like at the end of the night. But you were like on the way home, like threatening bouncers and like wanting to have a fight. I mean, I'm not the most, I'd say, aggressive person, but
it was such a scene from in between us looking back.
Honestly,
there I am, I'm like Jay, like giving it all large to the body, the bouncer,
mate,
he's getting really angry. I do remember him throwing like a table over and coming towards me.
Oh, he wasn't happy, mate.
And then Sam was like, sorry.
Honestly, I was like, I'm so sorry. He's just a little bit too drunk, but don't worry, I'm taking him home. Like, I was a bit gone at the time as well, but I just think that, I know it sounds, obviously what I've just said sounds a bit pathetic, but like my natural instinct was to be like, you're not in a good way, you need to go home. And then
I could have been eaten.
And then what you did, this wasn't the first time you've done this, you fell over in the room, hit your nose on the bed, and then blamed me for giving you a nosebleed. Like,
you shouldn't have done
it. But realistically, I don't think I've ever punched you.
Right, okay. So I've got 2 stories in mind.
Go
on. We were on a booze cruise, and any person I tell this story to, they just simply do not believe me.
I don't remember going on a booze cruise. I mean,
no. Anyway.
I was definitely there.
Anyway, I mean, it seems like something just silly, but basically we were out in the ocean, as you are on a booze cruise, and essentially, who turned up on the jet ski, Sam?
Oh, Bass Hunter.
Bass Hunter
Turned up.
The DJ.
I remember that, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, what? Like, and he was on his own, wasn't he? Just jetting around,
I think
having a laugh.
Well, yeah, he'd like, because I remember I was a big Bass Hunter fan at the time, and I remember like we got tickets like last minute because apparently I think he was in Ibiza and then decided to come to Magaluf, so he'd like just got to the island and I think he came on our boat.
Mate, he parks up. He came on the boat. He took pictures with everyone.
That was amazing.
Absolute gentleman, and it just like even was playing his song on the DJ set and just like having a total laugh.
Then when we got to, I don't think there was loads of us. I think who did you go to see? You went to see someone, and I went to see Bass Hunter. Bass Hunter didn't even turn up to the gig, and you were like, Sam, what are you doing? You're such a letdown. You didn't come. You played your favourite song. I can't think who it was.
And then Lethal Bizzle at BCM?
No, it wasn't him. No, I didn't go to that either. But I'm trying to think who it was. It was a guy that sings "I Can't Stop" or made "I Can't Stop." Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound that good. But like you were like, then he did like this remix of Wonderwall or something and you were like, you have missed out, and I was gutted, mate. But what was the other story?
Sway. Sorry.
Oh,
it was Sway. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was.
I just had to answer that. Yeah. So there's that story, and then the second story. Do we really want to talk about this? Because it is a shit story.
Quite literally. This I think it was funny. This was on. If I'm thinking of the same thing, this was the couple's trip to Magaluf, and I think you were with someone. Like you went out on a trip somewhere. You did something quite horrible to me, which I thought was quite funny.
Right, so basically, I'm going to admit I was extremely immature at this point in my life, and I don't know why I did it. I just thought, it was probably out of boredom because it was during the day, and I guess we didn't have any activity, so I was a bit bored, and I slightly urined into your slush puppy.
You did what, sorry?
Urined into your slush puppy that you asked for. Yeah. So I brought you back a slush puppy. You drinks it.
Tasted alright to me, mate. Yeah. I quite enjoyed it.
probably some sort of protein in there, so
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Cheers.
And I again just finding it hilarious at the time after you drank
But
it.
even I found it funny. Like, I actually
Yeah.
thought it was hilarious. I thought, oh, that's a great prank, mate.
So anyway, I thought it was a great idea to then leave my room completely alone. And what did you do, Sam?
Well, okay, so bearing in mind, I was very easily convinced by the female I was with at the time. Okay? Your room was open, and I, let's say, defecated in the, you know, it's not the... I'm trying to be polite. You know,
That's like a bit of the trailer, isn't it? And then I defecated.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so you know you got the toilet, and then you got the the bidet where you wash your feet or something, or wash your bum.
Bidet, yeah.
Yeah. I defecated in there, and then just to clarify, I didn't do this next bit. The female I was with at the time thought, here's a good idea. I'm going to put Jack's toothbrush next to it. So obviously Jack wasn't best pleased with this.
Well, when I ventured back into the room, I'm thinking someone's been killed in here. Like, it's absolutely the scenes, mate. And then I'm thinking, open a window now, and then I'm looking around the bedroom. Like, there's nothing. Like, there's not a dead rat. Like, what's going on? And then I went into the bathroom, and there he's looking at me.
I mean,
I'm thinking this is unreal. Like, this is
that was
way
after
over the
it was
line.
after a pretty heavy night as well.
Yeah.
So it must have been horrific.
I was absolutely outraged, and I was actually quite angry to the point where, I'll be honest with you, at the time I was actually really angry, and I wanted to like get revenge.
Just to clarify, I thought what I did was funny, but the next step was a bit much.
Yeah, well, no, because I got angry stupidly because really, you know, it's sort of a trade for trade sort of prank, but I just thought, you know what, I'm not allowing this level of disrespect, like my toothbrush, like, for God's sake, like.
Oh, mate.
And so I got 3 bin bags. It's so disgusting. I got 3 bin bags.
Were you sober at the time?
Got it.
You thought,
Of course I wasn't sober. You're never sober after the first night of Magaluf. You're just constantly pissed from the first 12 hours until you're on the plane home and you look at really, really rainy Gatwick and you go, wow, now sober. That was essentially...
but your thought process was, I've got to pick this up.
I just thought I cannot get rid of your... I cannot just flush it away like some sort of slave. So I was like, no, I'm getting 3 bin bags. I'm using it as a gun. I'm picking this shit up, and I'm not having it. And I was literally not taking your shit, essentially.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I thought, you know what? I need to get access to your room because obviously you're not going to let me go in your room, and I've got in my hand your shit.
I mean, let's be honest. I only found out your toothbrush had gone next to my display. Once I'd re-entered my room, and then I thought at the time, well, if I go out my room to go back into yours, you could come back because you've been gone for a while. So
yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll leave it. We'll see the funny side. You did. Oh, I think after you saw the funny side.
No, I was actually raging because I remembered saying I have to get in that room and I have to throw this at him. I have to defecate the room with your defecates. So went downstairs, got your room card key. So easy. The receptionist should be sacked, whoever you are. Anyway, went downstairs. Yeah, sorry, I forgot my key card for this room. They gave me that key card.
Was it that easy?
Mate, it was, as I said to you just now, absolute joke.
That's horrific. I mean, it is Magaluf. So,
yeah, it is. Yeah. And anyway, they're like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Samuel Raven." I was like,
"Oh well, thank you so much."
Thank you so much.
No passport or anything to confirm that. Just, oh yeah, that's you. Yeah. Go ahead, go to your room.
Yeah. And anyway, I got the key card. Oh, by the way, I wasn't carrying the shit in my hand.
I was thinking like. Did you forget to go to the toilet?
Yeah. So anyway, get the key card. So now I know I'm prepared. So I'll go in my room, get the bin bags, pick the shit up, get the key card. Literally, I couldn't care less. If anyone saw me in the hallway at the time, I was so angry. So opened your door right now. I wish this was recorded in slow motion, this whole scene that comes out. Because obviously you had no idea that I was going to do what I was going to do. So I really wish this was in slow motion. The first thing I see is you on the balcony. With your then partner. Yeah. Right? So I thought, I have to get to that balcony door as quickly as possible to get it open, otherwise they're going to kick, because they can see quite...
Was the door shut?
I think it was partly open, so I'm thinking if I get my foot there, I'm gonna be able... But if they see me holding this shit, it's game over. So it was literally like a commando run, but also it was basically sort of like, you know when you hold the spoon and egg race? But it was hand and shit race.
And you think what I said is going to be in the title, the hand and shit race.
So I'm running, trying to make sure that this slippery turd doesn't shoot off. It's sort of like a wet banana or something like that. So, why am I going into this description?
I love how you remember it so well.
No, because it just was so funny looking back. And anyway, I run to the balcony, slam the door open, and now both of you I've got both of your full attention.
I think you know what's happening.
You both have got your eyes open, and both of you with like your mouths open. You're like, please don't
do not do this to me.
Complete look of horror and shock.
Oh, mate.
It looked like your life was about to end. That's essentially.
I'll put it this way: if that landed on me, my life would have ended.
Well. You've just ruined it, but
anyway,
no, I
haven't.
So then I go to throw, right, and I don't want to throw it at your partner. I want to throw it directly at the perpetrator. Right? So,
of course. So how did you know that it was me?
The size, mate. It's inhumane, and
let's just say
it looked like I had a brown baton in my hand.
Let's just say it was impressive.
Anyway. It was a weapon in my hand. Anyway, there I go. I'm doing a proper overhand, as you do.
Oh, mate.
I did basically, it looked like a cricket run, I guess, overhand. And at the perfect moment, your partner pushed my front shoulder, and it just completely threw the throw off.
Oh, mate.
And it did sweep past you. It did sweep past your torso, didn't it?
But then I think to complete the story...
you might as well kiss it goodbye.
But thank God I didn't.
No.
But I think what completes the story as well is our balcony overlooked the car park. And let's just say that the car that was below the balcony got a new paint job because it was... a little bit horrific what happened.
It didn't help that the car was white.
Yeah.
And the aim was dead centre. I mean, we're talking maybe 10th floor, something like that.
We weren't low, let's put it that way.
Yeah, so it had a velocity when it landed. And as I said to you, it was a weapon. I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of dent there still now, but...
I just feel sorry for the person who cleaned that car. Because that is just... I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That was... horrific, and it must have been. God knows what I was drinking at the time, but
no.
Bless you, Jack. I mean, that was just.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's another story from Magaluf that not a lot of people believe when I tell it. But
I just think
I was so angry. I even remember after being more angry, and I had to actually. It was pathetic. I think
you left the room in disappointment because you missed.
I left the room in utter disappointment. And I thought I've actually picked up shit for nothing. I've essentially dirtied my soul a bit, really. Because to be honest with you, you should never be picking up anyone's. And this isn't a life saying. This is what I'm actually. You should never pick anyone's shit up. But
that is a lesson in life, I think.
Yeah.
If you're ever in that situation, don't
become a toilet.
Pretty much.
Someone else's shit.
But I'll put it this way: if the horrific side of that story would have happened and it did hit me, God forbid, go hit in my mouth. But, as you said, mouth was open. God forbid that would happen. This would not be happening right now.
So wait, do you reckon if I did that?
Oh mate, you would be. I mean, not that I have a list, but you'd be on top of the list of the people that I hate more than anyone in the world.
So you seriously would have ended our relationship there and then? And then?
But even though it was my shit, you would have thrown shit in my mouth. Like, it's a good story.
Well, then I could say you put it on my toothpaste.
No, but I didn't do it. I didn't do that. Your toothbrush was just, sitting next to it.
It was spooning the shit.
At least the shit probably came closer.
I didn't use that toothbrush ever again.
The shit.
I had to throw away my Philips toothbrush.
Oh, mate, I mean, I'm so sorry, but I'll put it this way.
Invoices in the post.
This is such a mental thing to have to say, but the shit was closer to my mouth than to yours. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But good stories, But then we also went to, if you think about the experiences we had, we saw DJ Fresh when he was like,
yeah,
massive.
Or even like when I just mentioned before, Calvin Harris would never go into a base. The capacity I think was about 4,000, and I'm sure on the night it would have been 7,000 or 8,000 people in there.
I actually think like Calvin Harris was he like massive then, or was he building up to?
No. Compared to what he is now,
but he wasn't even that. He was well known, but he wasn't that big.
Yeah, he was well known.
But I think that the experiences that we had, I'm sure anyone will have on our lad's holiday, like stories like that will only happen in that sort of situation. Like I don't think if we were to go on holiday now. I mean, unless you want absolute revenge or try it again, which I really hope that you wouldn't do that.
No. I must have been 19 or something like that.
I think maybe 18, 19.
19,
yeah.
That is well, I'm never going to do that ever again.
Thank God.
Any sort of immature prank, that's over, mate. I won't be doing that ever again.
But look, it's the sort of thing. Like it is a good story, and now
it's a shit story.
Or quite literally. And we don't know how many people are going to listen to this, but whoever does listen to it is going to know that.
They're going to be so disappointed in me more than anything. I'm going to get a dislike now. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I only listen to podcasts because of Sam, but Jack, he's a bit of a shit thrower.
Well, I mean, these are just coming out as like quite punny. A shit thrower,
yeah.
It's but no, it's an experience I think, because you should know in life normally to not shit near your mate's toothbrush. There's a life lesson that I learnt to maybe not do that again at the tender age of 18. But it's all good fun, mate, and I wouldn't do it again. Just saying that.
Yeah, no, I would never go back to Magaluf ever again.
I think
it was perfect for the time.
Mate, I went 3 times.
Yeah, well,
3.
Well, I'm sure there's other people out there that went more, but it's not a competition, Sam.
I'm disappointed in myself that I went 3 times, because Magaluf it's not the nicest of places to go to.
No.
You just go there to get pissed. Like you don't go there for the sights, mate. You go there because they've got like €1 pints or whatever it is, and the alcohol is horrific. Like, do you remember what your voice was like?
Yeah, well, essentially, I found out as a complete newbie that their vodka is essentially made out of carpet cleaner. So when you're drinking it, the next day you got this horrific cough and sore throat and sort of killed me. But do you realise the first time we went there for 14 days.
Yeah, like that is.
Can you imagine?
Outrageous.
It's essentially going out 14 times.
We went out. I think we went out every night. Maybe we potentially would have had one night off because it was outrageous. Like, especially at a young age.
Yeah.
Like
I remember being on the plane coming back and I felt like I was in pieces. I just thought, like, I can't ever drink again. This is just like.
It was awful. And then we were probably out drinking the week after.
Yeah, probably.
But no, it is all a good experience, and I think that although I was 18, 19, I think you do kind of grow as a person from those sorts of holidays, because you understand. Obviously, you're not with your parents, so you've kind of got that freedom to do what you want and shit near people's toothbrushes. If you're me. But no, like it is definitely a learning curve, and I think especially like if I look back at how much I drank on those multiple trips to Magaluf, I'd be disgusted with myself, because if I was to go out for a drink now, I don't go out to get smashed. Whereas every single night it was a challenge. Who could? Like,
don't you find any time you're on holiday, more or less anywhere, if you ask for like, I don't know, like a vodka and coke or whatever, there's always so much more alcohol, so you're always going to end up drinking more than.
Funny you say that. So I went on a holiday a couple of years ago.
Southend does not count.
No, not Southend.
Oh.
I went to Greece with one of my pals, and we for some reason, this sounds really tragic. We got quite friendly with the staff. It sounds awful.
Yeah,
like,
it does, mate, yeah. Should we turn it the podcast off now?
No, some people might still be interested. But no, like we got quite friendly with the staff, and then they explained that if if you go all inclusive, you get the crap alcohol, but they give you more, so you get rid of it. So if you're a paying customer, you'll get, like, say for example, vodka, you'll get Smirnoff.
Beer or something. Smirnoff. All right.
Smirnoff is like what in comparison to the carpet cleaner they were giving us.
Sit it down.
It might as well be. Honestly, I think one day I actually saw them put it in the but no, I didn't. But no, like they said like, oh yeah, you guys get the shit alcohol because you're not a paying customer. And it's interesting to think, like in Magaluf, is there actually any good alcohol? Probably not.
No.
I highly doubt it.
No. I mean, we haven't been there for a few years. So
I'll never go back.
No, we'll never go back. Well, anyway, that was our holiday episode, I guess.
And I think everyone's learnt a bit about each other in
not
this
particularly
podcast.
proud story, but yeah.
But, it's a story and an experience, and I think that's where we'll leave it. And hopefully, when you see on the next one, there will be less vulgar stories.
Yes, there definitely will be. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you all the best.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
See you later. Bye.